Okay, now it's open.
Yeah, so also your email in that again.
And maybe there's a new thing around.
So it's because obviously some journal webinar, it comes up with the box asking for use that. Can see it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I can see John has just seen it.
Are you able to then move that to this new one too first?
Yeah, I can do that. That's no problem. So Clarissa is on.
On the way, yeah? How do you stop this? Triple dash.
Now he's asking for my meeting ID number. No, there's something I think he must be doing wrong or something.
Okay, so where's your ID number? Just go into Zoom. You didn't ask me for that. Go and Chrome. Just open up new one. So now we get him in this way, we're going to have to allow him to speak. So,
Yeah, I can do that. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
I started a whole new one. How come this is up now? I think we should just can it.
There's too many people on. There's the meeting ID 339290. So 339290793. Let's go. 239380793.
So say what,
239.
Yeah.
78393.
7.
Just go. Just go.
339290.
783.
339290.
339290783. 339290783. It's okay. Choose.
I knew that was going to be a problem. John, are you there? So now I have to allow him to speak. John, can you hear me?
I think you just unmuted me.
I did. I'm going to mute you, but I've unmuted John as well. So at least phase one is done.
Can you hear me?
I can. Thank goodness. Huh. How are you?
Chris?
Whew. Okay, so how do I allow you to get onto video now? So can you get yourself hide non-video participants? Promote panelist. So now you're promoted to panelist.
Have you not managed to get in yet?
Well, we just got on. She sent me another code that worked.
Yeah. Okay, so hi Clarissa, can you hear me?
You guys are right in. Where's the Clarissa? Do you know where the setting is to turn a panelist's video on?
Switched off the camera for John.
It says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
So it's not the video. Shite.
It says it's on yours, Tiny. It says on yours it's stopped.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys, I can't see. Where do I do
No,
this?
you've switched off. You've disabled John's video your side.
Yeah,
Yours has got it disabled on your side, Tiny.
yeah. No, mine's definitely disabled. Just go to more here.
So maybe the settings on your machine, Tony.
That's on Judy's machine. I'm just checking. Allow panelists to start video. There we go. Sorry, we just said, okay, John, you should be able to. If you push on your video, it should be able to come on.
Because I got allow panelists to start video. There he is.
Hey, John, how's it?
Okay, good. Okay, can I love and leave you because I'm in the middle of getting stuff ready for breakthrough.
Okay, cool.
Clarissa, nice hair.
Sorry?
Like the hair.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't get to eat lunch.
You had lunch. Do you want to get you something quickly?
You know, the salmon on the bread and everything that I get? The multi-grain bread and some salmon.
Otherwise I can run, it'll probably be quicker just to run across to Pret and get you something there. Do you want me to do
Give
that?
me a couple sandwiches.
Soup and sandwich. Can I have a card so I can go back in?
Yeah, I don't have one, but one.
Can I leave my computer and everything here then?
Yes.
So chicken sandwich and a soup.
Soup, that's good.
Okay, Dr. DeMartini, we're going to be going live right now, okay? Yeah, what is it, one thing you say? The greatest growth happens on the border of support.
Order and care.
I have to say, I've had that. Okay, Tony, can you let people know that we're on?
Yeah, I'm just
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Let me cut the lights off behind me and see if that makes better lighting. Hold on.
So you're back. You're in the UK at the moment.
I am in the UK.
Are we live?
I still got those bright lights. Hold on a minute. And now I got a decent arrangement here.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good, good, good. Guys, sorry about that. We had tech issues. And as I just was joking about, the greatest growth happens on the border of order and chaos. So this must have said, it must have grown bucket loads in the past 10 minutes. Okay. We're going to make this quick. Hi, Dr. Don DeMartini. Everybody is so excited about having you join us this afternoon. We are a tribe of traders. We have traders all over the world. And one of the things that our point of difference working with traders is that we come from more than just the technical side of of trading, but understanding what is behind it, the mindset behind it, what drives our belief system and our values and all that. So that is what a lot of the work that I do. And a lot of the work I do, and the guys will know this, comes from what I've learned from you, because as you know, we go back many years, and my life transformed when we connected all those years ago. So guys, as you know, this is Dr. John DeMartini, the world's leading authority on human behavior. You guys know, as being traders in the tribe by now, you know that success in trading is not just about placing trades, it's about trading in a certain way. And that certain way is understanding yourself, your values, your belief system, and your relationship as well with money as well. So really privileged to have Dr. DeMartini here with us. I'm going to jump right in. Dr. DeMartini, is that okay with you?
Yes, I thank you for Easy's getting our technology where we could do this great interview. I'm sure part of it is on my ignorance and wanting to do, but whatever it is, we finally got on, and I'm very grateful for that. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what I would love to unwrap here, and I think a lot of people, Forex trading has a bad rep, okay, in the industry and in the market. A lot of people find it very, very difficult to be successful or profitable in trading. There is this statistic flying around where 90% of people lose 90% of the money in 90 days. And trading itself is not difficult. It's rather simple. Also, there's no shortage of profitable strategies or numbers of ways of making money from the market, but yet people really, really struggle. In your opinion, can you just share with us what, in your opinion, would it take to be a genius trader to the audience?
Well, for whatever it's worth, I have had the opportunity to meet numerous great Forex traders that have made fortunes. Mm. So if somebody can do it, others can do it. And I mean, I know people that are making over 100%, 90%, and 100% and more in a year.
Yeah.
I've seen 30%, but I've seen it all the way over 100%. So there are people that have consistently done it over many, many years. So it's not that it can't be done. It's just that you have to follow a strategy, and you have to have objective mind and not let emotions distract you from the strategies that you learn. And not, think with pride that you know better than the market. That's the lesson. But a genius individual has a real value on mastering the skill. Yeah. They're not just looking for immediate gratification to try to get a quick fix. They're looking at committing to mastering Forex trading and trading and understanding the markets. That means that they have a very high value on doing the studies and the disciplines and have the patience to go through the learning curves and allow themselves to have this fantasy, unrealistic expectation on what it's going to take to master. So it's masterable.
Yes.
My daughter is dating a gentleman who is mastering it and consistently wins in that market. So first you have to have a very high value on mastering that skill. You have to have a high value on wealth, so you're not in your amygdala looking for immediate gratification. You have to understand the psychology of it, and having a mentor that has already been down the road, that's already succeeded at doing it, is wise instead of reinventing the wheel.
Absolutely.
Learning, yeah, is probably the slowest way of doing it. Learning through mentorship and practicing with incremental momentum building quantities of money. As you master something, you increase the quantity.
Yeah.
Many people go out there with higher percentages than what they can handle the gains and losses of. I have many people that when they have a gain, they get elated, and then when they do, they go into their amygdala, and then they skew their perceptions. Can I go off on a little tangent? I hope this doesn't.
I would love you to. Please feel free.
The animal part of the brain, you might say, or subcortical area of the brain called the amygdala, is a desire center. And it is for pleasure and an instinct from pain. And in the wild, that comes from prey, food, and predator being eaten. And if we're out in the wild, we tend to have a subjective bias towards false positives. And false positives are seeing things that aren't there. When they're not there, you're seeing that they are. And false negatives is not seeing things that are there. And out in the wild, an animal, if it assumes it's not there when it is, it gets eaten. If it assumes it's not there when it is, it doesn't get food. So it has to err on the idea that it's not there and assume that to prepare quick enough to get away from predator or to get prey. So we automatically, when we're in our amygdala, skewing with subjective biases and distorting what's actually there, and usually make unwise decisions. So it's so crucial to have a real high value on really mastering the skill of Forex and sticking to the highest priority strategies and actions that have proven to work. Because then our executive center, which has self-governance over the impulses and instincts of our amygdala, allows us to follow strategy without being distracted by gains and losses. Mm-hmm. It's the gains that are heavy gains that make us think we're great with pride, that we're better than we are. And when we do, we set too big a goal in too short a time frame. And we end up being emotional and end up being foolish with our money. And at the same time, on the other side, we tend to, when we lose, we tend to set too short a time, too small a goal and too long a time frame, trying to get us back in the center. But getting into the executive center, the objective center, where the most amount of distortions and the most amount of strategy and the most amount of self-governance is the key. And I wish there was a shortcut to that, but the real truth is you have to master your life. That's why if you can master your emotions, don't expect to master money.
Absolutely, absolutely. The interesting thing is you've said a lot of stuff that I've valuable material in a way that is slightly different to how I've said it. So hopefully, guys, it's landing with you slightly differently to maybe how I would say it. The other thing that I often talk about is the extended time horizon. Because of the immediate gratification, you cannot have that but that's the trap that trading does, because it gives you such instant feedback. You know the moment by moment if your decision was right or wrong. So it's that instant feedback that makes people look at the immediate gratification and they don't take a step back and extend their time horizon.
Well, I find that many people, I could tell you some examples of ones that did not do well in the Forex, not because of Forex, but because of the way they managed it. The one that has taken a little bit of money, first they paper traded and they did it, artificially until they felt that they had a system in place. They knew it. And then they incremented their money up. So if they made money and they made, 6% out of the trade or 3% or something like that, they took a portion of it, they stuck some of it back into the cash and some of it back into the trade, and they grew the trades a little bit bigger each time. The ones that do that and don't try to rush in there, and when they make a big killing, because sometimes when you make a big killing, it wasn't necessarily that did it, it was just the market went in your favor, and you thought that your genius knew the market, and you had a crystal ball. And then what happens, you skew the idea of what it's doing versus what you did. And that's when you get into trouble. So the people that incrementally build that step by step and build up a cushion of more basic investments, so you have a passive investment stabilizing and mitigating the volatilities, is the one that's less likely to allow the extreme of them to skew their perceptions and undermine their what they can do. You have to structure it where you're mitigating those volatilities to the best of your ability and staying steady on a focus. And that is a mastery of self. It's not just a mastery of trading, it's a mastery of self. And I think that the ones that I've observed that have done the most achievements in the Forex or any of the market has been the ones that had a steady, stable mindset.
Absolutely.
It's a mindset.
One of our coaches, actually, Joran, I'm going to speak about you. I know you're on here right now. And he shares this story himself. But when he started with us, he really started struggling. It was about 18 months ago. And we had a conversation, and what we did is, what we do in the tribe is we get people to really manage their downside, right? To have a strict management on that. So what I suggested to Joran was to reduce his risk. So he reduced his risk per trade right down to 0.2%. And that was a level at which he was able to sustain and then develop a level of consistency around that, and then incrementally increase it. The problem is most people, when they get to, so that's obviously related to their relationship with money or wealth, or that wealth ceiling type of thing. So when he got to that point, he had the discipline to incrementally increase it until he got to 1%. A lot of people, so many people will do that exercise, but then when they get consistency at 0.2, they jump to 1%, and that is where, you know, they start hitting them.
Incremental growth, like a domino of momentum building things. I know that some people don't like Donald Trump, but I have to say that I've had the opportunity to spend time with him. I used to live right underneath him. And one thing that I did learn from Donald Trump is incremental momentum building objectives. And some people call it the domino effect. The little domino makes a bigger domino, gives a bigger domino kind of thing.
Yes.
When I write a book, I do incremental edits. When I do seminars, I tweak it ever so often. I've been doing breakthrough 1,080 times. So I tweak it every time.
The breakthrough experience you've done
1,080 times.
And
so,
this week cannot be 1,081 times.
Well, this is what it's about to be, yes. But the point is that every time you get a little thing, you do a little tweak, and you just keep tweaking. And it's the mastery of tweaking and refining it that without trying to get that big kill. Jim Collins did it beautifully in his book on, you know, Good to Great and Built to Last, and those books about not looking for the magic bullet that's going to quickly do something. But that's the problem with the amygdala. The amygdala, any filled in our life, we go out of our executive center, go into our amygdala, and we shorten our space and time horizons, and we end up getting impulsive instead of tired and you know, strategic. Following the strategies and not letting them waver. I worked with a person who was in trading just the other day in Australia, and he's really good. And he's not doing Forex as much as he's doing just normal options, but he's very methodical, and he won't waver from his strategy. And that's what it takes to get the people I know that are able to do it, just stick to the strategy and just keep following it.
Absolutely, with tweaks. And guys, this is what I'm always saying, and this is one of the biggest failings, I think, with so many people, is they won't put in the time to review and tweak. If you don't review it, how do you know what to tweak?
The way you know you really, really, really want to master something is that you look at your metrics and you refine as you go.
Yes. Yeah.
I keep metrics on things that I really have a serious intention of creating. And yeah, so metricing your daily actions and looking at what you did, and not just assume, but really looking at what you did and refining it and objectively reviewing it is very, very valuable. And again, mentorship, because you can save yourself an enormous amount of time if somebody's guiding you along the way. Yes. Otherwise, it's trial and error. Trial and error still can teach you, but it's a little of both. But at the same time, having mentorship and guidance, and just like your executive center is your mentor, and your amygdala is your little playboy kid downstairs, and he wants that quick fix. He wants that cocaine rush. He wants that super high. Mm-hmm. And I was in the options pit in Chicago with options trading there. And there was a guy that made a huge killing. I think he made $30 million for himself that day. And, you know, everybody around him was all like infatuated with him about, oh man, he's the super guy. 8 years later, he'd never done a trade like that again. And so they were all infatuated with him, and they were trying to duplicate him, and envy is ignorance and imitation is suicide. But at the same time, there's another guy there that's been there for 38 years, and he just methodically gets his, on average, 48% to 50%, just like clockwork. And that individual has made a fortune over steady, consistent returns on an annual basis.
You would agree that you need to have a high value on money or a healthy relationship with money in order to trade successfully? Because that's what it is, isn't it? It's money.
If you don't value money, money circulates through the economy from those who value it least to those who value it most. Pardon, there's somebody that just came in my room and they're dropping something off. So if you see somebody in the room, they're doing a service for me. I didn't get to have my lunch, so I'm going to eat lunch when I get through here. But But if you don't have a value on money, money circulates through the economy from those who value it least to those who value it most. Just like a relationship, if you don't value a relationship, they go somewhere else. And money goes through where it is least ordered to where it is most ordered, where it's strategic to its most strategic. And it just finds its way to people that know how to appreciate it and make it grow in value. Appreciating something means you're willing to make it grow in value. And when people, the second they get money, if they go spend it on consumables that depreciate in value, they don't have intention of being wealthy. They have an intention of living a lifestyle, the rich and famous, immediate gratifying now. Yes. And this leads to extreme debauchery in some cases, but it's wiser to have a consistent, long-term intention of wealth building and knowing that it doesn't have to happen overnight. And it's about mastering the skill, and then you have it for life. And you will keep the money for life if you do. I also encourage people to take some of the monies that they do and some of the proceeds and put it in passive investing incomes. So you have money coming in to mitigate the volatilities of the trades. And because you don't want it all just sitting in cash only, because then you're used to having to actively trade to make money. You want both. You want an active trading, accelerating money, and a passive investments going in, giving you money regardless. Yeah. I have a couple $1 million a year doing nothing coming in today because I have passive investments. But I also make money doing my active engagements of what I do. So I'd much rather have it where I have both active engagement and passive investments coming in. And this is what allows a stable mind, because now you're not doing it because you have to do it. You're doing it because you love to master the game.
Yes. It's like one thing I learned from you, actually. I think it was prophecy, the pyramid of investments, like where you have cash and it's ever decreasing. There's an element that's in passive and ever decreasing.
You want to save and then master investing before you speculate extensively. Some people go into speculating and have no stable foundation underneath them, and they're volatile. They're easily volatile. But if you have a stability underneath you and you have a cash cushion and you've got investments that are passive coming in, you're less likely to be emotional. I tell people to earn the right to risk. Don't go in and take risks because you're cocky or because the market's going up. I've seen many people, while the market's going up, everybody's making money and it's easy. When the market's going down, they got to learn how to deal with the other side of the equation.
Yes.
And they think that they're geniuses while it went up. And then they think they're idiots when it goes down because they haven't learned how to do but one side of the trades. You want to be able to do both sides so you can make money no matter what the market's doing. Precisely. And there is a way of doing that. It's a mastery of that. And you have to really be educated on all of those strategies and not live in kind of a fantasy that it's going to always go in your favor. You're going to learn as you go.
And it'd also be wise to actually make sure, because I know a lot of people put money into trading and they've got zero savings and they don't put money aside each month for savings. You can't expect to be successful in trading if you don't do that, if you don't have that level of self-worth to pay yourself first and not have some money saving first before you start speculating.
I've taken thousands of people through a forced accelerated savings procedure. And I don't know of any of them that didn't say thank you. So the ones that do, when they make money, I take a portion of it and put it appropriately to taxes, appropriately to depreciations, appropriately to education, appropriately to different buckets. And one of which is an immortality account that's going to continue to grow, that's in quality investments, that is also passively earning you income. Could it be real estate properties? It could be small cap stocks. It could be many different things, but doing a combination of both. So your money's working for you. You're not having to work with it all the time. People want to say, oh, well, if I'm making 60%, I'd rather make 60% on this whole thing. And they get their mind skewed and they start to think they can handle it. I know some people that don't take more than 1 to 2%, no more than 5% of their entire gross in their total net worth and play in the markets.
Yes.
Bernie Leonard, or Leonard Bernie, we sometimes call him, who was 104 years old when he passed away, was averaging 70% consistently every single year doing trades. 70% was an average. I watched him for at least 12 of those years consistently. He had his own system in place. He had a methodical strategy, and he kept doing that. But he also had monies on the side passively. Now, he was a billionaire. And he was dealing with less than 1% of his portfolio that he was trading. So he was making millions. But he didn't allow himself to go and exuberantly go into zones where he got an emotional. He made sure he stayed stable, no emotions, strategy. And he taught strategy. And he told everybody there that everybody that consistently made money with him were strategic. And the ones that didn't thought they could outbeat their knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I just want to, are there any significant questions, Tiny? I can't open up here. For some reason, I'm also, I think the gremlins are out today. Dr. Demartini, so I just I know you haven't had lunch. I'm going to allow you just want to sum up here. So you agree that success in trading is very, very possible as long as you have the discipline to work from, or the inspiration, I rather should say, the inspiration to work from the executive center and to be consistent, to extend the time horizon, to trade with the risk profile that will work for you and incrementally increase it, to then also consistently review and tweak over time.
You said it perfectly. I don't know if you need me on here. You just said it. I think the people I know who have been the Forex traders that are quite extraordinary are the ones that do that. That's simple. The people I know that go in, I mean, there was a big Forex trading floor a few floors above mine in Houston, Texas. I have the 52nd floor in Houston in Williams Tower. And up above that was a Forex floor.
Right.
We're talking about probably a 10,000 to 15,000 square foot floor of Forex traders. And I used to go up there and watch them and with other people's money. So, which is another emotion. That's just, sure. It's one thing losing your own money, it's another thing losing other people's money or gaining people's money.
Yes.
And I watched the ones that did it and the ones that didn't. And there was a learning curve going on that floor for new traders. And a lot of emotions associated with it. But the ones that successfully did it and consistently did it were poker faced.
Yeah.
They did not get elated or depressed.
Yes. Just centered, grounded.
They just saw that, okay, they go, okay, this one didn't make a trade. They would have maybe 6 trades going on, and this one would maybe have a loss, and these 5 over here would have a gain, or this would be 4 with a gain and 2 with a loss. So they had different trades going on with different currencies. And they just stayed in it, and they looked at the annual return more so than the day-to-day kind of things. They just look at, okay, this is what I'm going to do. If I had a temporary loss, no big deal. And they learned how to mitigate their emotions by asking when they were down or thought they had a loss, where was the gain? And when they thought they had a gain, where was the loss? They learned how to reciprocally ask questions that neutralize their emotion, and they stabilized themselves. And those are the people that did well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So guys, Dr. Demartini and the Institute have shared with us a link, which I'm going to post in the comments below here. 4 must-do actions to empower and inspire your life. I'm going to post it down here because I know it's a module that's going to be extremely valuable to you guys. So, and of course, we have Dr. Demartini joining us as a guest speaker on Saturday, just across the road from where you are now, I think it is. So,
yes.
And you'll be sharing more with us. What would you like to share with us? What you're going to be speaking about on Saturday?
Well, I think that, you know, I'm just going to be elaborating in more depth on what I've just been discussing, because I think people are looking for this magic, you know, here's the secret little thing here, but it's a game of mastery of your own being.
Yeah, yeah.
I really believe that, like anything, you know, Tiger Woods, I had the opportunity to walk with Tiger Woods at the British Open and alongside him while he's going from hole to hole.
Wow.
Opportunity to listen to his caddy. And it was amazing because he had a caddy that if all of a sudden he shot this amazing shot that was right down the fairways, right on the money, the caddy would make him think of the downsides, because now it's easy to get elated.
Yes.
You go into a bunker, in the high grass or the trees or whatever. He said, this is when you shine. And I watched the caddy neutralize his perceptions so he didn't get up or down. And that's what made him great. This is before he had it's difficult with the girls and everything else. It's back a number of years back.
Right.
But he was at the peak of his career at the time, and I watched his caddy and his own mindset stabilize himself. That's why he was great. That's what made him great.
That to me is why I call trading is the gift that keeps on giving, because it instantaneously feeds back to you the state that you are in. And once you're in that executive center that is required for successful trading, and you apply that to any area of your life, you're unstoppable. You're absolutely unfreaking stoppable. That's why trading, in my mind, is the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, the lady that I sat here in this hotel about a year ago with a lady that was
So you just got a bit of a break up there. Has he frozen on Facebook?
Yes.
Sorry, Dr. Demartini, you froze there for a moment.
It froze out. I just said I had the opportunity to work with a lady right here in this hotel who was averaging around 90% a year, sometimes higher. And she was a master of just following the strategy. The problem she had is, and this is where I came in to help consult her, to make sure that she was taking a portion of it and putting it into other diversified investments that was passively giving her an income, so she would not just be working her whole life trading and then exceeding her expectations by spending it all.
Yes.
You know, if you spend your money, you don't really have the game of making money is different than building wealth. And many people confuse that. Building wealth is, you know what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk about financial independence when I'm there, when I'm coming Saturday. I'd like to talk about the 7 steps of financial independence because you're going to be guiding them on the actual trading procedures, but I can give them some ideas on financial independence, and there's a difference.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that would be gold, Dr. Demartini. Really, I think it would be. And I really think what you've offered here today is extremely valuable to the guys. Let me know, guys, in the comments. Are you still on there, Tiny? Let me know if this was really good for you. Kevin has just said it was really interesting, great, because they hear it from me a lot. A lot of traders hear it from me, and it's not common knowledge. I've had people walk away from me, not want to hear from me, because I talk about trading starts from inside, from your state, your relationship with money. And so many people don't want to hear that. But the guys here, there's some very successful, some struggling, and still struggling to connect and trade from that center point. So I think maybe if we can cover a little bit of how as well, which I think your 7 steps will incorporate as well.
Yes. Also, anytime you compare yourself to somebody on a trading floor or a buddy that's trading, and you compare yourself to them and put them on a pedestal or put them in the pit because of a good day or a bad day, as they say in trading, you're going to distract yourself. Because anytime you put somebody on a pedestal, you'll minimize yourself, and that's when you go into your amygdala. And anytime you go and exaggerate yourself and think you're proud, you go into your amygdala. Those are the 2 things. So comparing yourself to others is not what this game is about. It's about comparing your daily actions to the highest priority strategies that you've learned that works. Yes. That's the difference.
100%, 100%. Well, really looking forward, and I know a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. So Andre, wonderful information. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you guys for your comments and also your questions. I didn't get through all of your questions, guys, here, but I think Dr. Demartini did answer them anyway without me directly asking them. And I think on Saturday, I think your idea is phenomenal. Let's take it a step further. Let's build up on financial independence, get out of the weeds and into the vision. And I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, my life changed when a financial planner held me accountable at age 28. Because prior to 28, I saved money for things.
Right.
At age 28, I built wealth. And that was a turning point. And he asked me 10 questions, and I'd like to share those 10 questions with everybody.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Dr. Demartini, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today. I really do. And it's so wonderful to speak to you again. It really
Yes.
is. We haven't spoken. We've emailed, but we haven't spoken for a couple of years now. I think it was International Challenges Day. It was an event I did a few years ago. That's the last
Yes.
time we spoke, wasn't it?
Yes, it's great to hear from you, and we're connected in many ways, but it's great to be able to finally see you again on Saturday. So, and whoever's going to be there, I'm looking forward to meeting them, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your lunch, Dr. Demartini. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.